So I think most of us have had the experience where we go into a store or a restaurant and the music just completely turns us off, right? It may be too loud, maybe it's not the right genre, and so we leave. Right? And we have that power as the customer. We can always find a different store or restaurant to go to. But imagine what that must be like for the employees who work there. Right? They may find the music annoying. They may want to change it. They may want to turn it off. But usually they can't. And it turns out that when the background music at a workplace isn't what the employee needs to do their job, it can negatively affect their energy, their affect, and even their performance. So we recruited about 166 participants in an online study uh, where we asked them to tell us what type of music or what music did they need in that moment. So based on a couple of key features like volume, the pace of the music, or the emotional intensity of the music. Then we randomly assigned them to one or two playlists to listen to while they did a creativity task. And what we found is that when they were exposed to music that didn't meet their needs, was out of sync with what they wanted or needed in that moment, they were more mentally exhausted and they experienced lower positive emotions, which is not something we want from our employees. So in our second study, we wanted to examine this in a real world context. So we recruited 68 participants who worked in a variety of different work environments where music is common. So like doctor's offices, retail stores, grocery stores, gyms, even dining halls here at the university. And what we did is we emailed them 3 times a day with a survey asking them to indicate, what music they needed to hear that day, what music they actually heard, their mood, their cognitive depletion, and then various job-related behaviors. And we did this for 3 weeks. And what we found is that on days when the music didn't match what they needed or was out of sync with what they needed that day, they engaged in more negative behaviors at work. So they were less likely to help their colleagues. They were more likely to engage in behaviors that actually directly harm the organization, such as taking longer breaks, taking more frequent breaks, or maybe even stealing from their employer. And we can attribute this directly to them feeling less positive emotions at work and being more depleted on the days when music wasn't fitting or matching what they needed that day. So about 13.5 million workers are in occupations where background music is common, which is more than what probably most people think. You can think about retail stores, gyms, healthcare offices, right? Anywhere where music might be playing in the background. It's actually a lot of the workforce that is affected. And so it's wrong for managers to dismiss it as being trivial. There's a number of things that employers can do to help their employees deal with this. One, I think it's just awareness that on the part of managers to realize that music does affect their employees, that it's not a trivial thing that they should brush off. So they should try to strike a balance between selecting music that appeals to the customer, but also music that the employees can live with and deal with for 8 hours a day. Employers can also provide spaces where employees could go during their breaks where there is no music, just to get a break from that continuous sound. Employers could also think about investing in earbuds that have smart technology where it helps to filter out background noise like music, but the employee is still able to engage in conversation with the customers and their coworkers. What can employees do to deal with this? Well, I can speak from my own experience. One of my first jobs was working in a gym, and I had to turn on the music. That was my main task in the morning, and every morning it was Party in the USA, which at 4:30 in the morning is not what you want to hear, not what I needed in that moment. But I turned it into a bit of a game where I'd like, okay, if every time I hear this song, I would do like 5 push-ups, right? And I got my other, coworkers in on it, and so we made fun. We had fun with it. So try to make it bearable, and I think that helped kind of build this like kind of camaraderie and culture, even out of a kind of a negative or annoying experience. So I think there are ways that employees can have fun with even bad background music.